Hello everyone, welcome to the EndCycle modding stream. Wait, I forgot to turn on the light there, so now you can see my face better, at least for the introduction. You won't be seeing my face when we'll actually mod the game. Okay, so welcome. Today I'll show you guys how you can mod EndCycle with your own custom content and really whatever you can accomplish with the things I'm about to show you. Hello everyone. Okay, welcome to the EndCycle modding stream. Just checked my sound. Feels good. I think the sound is good. I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat, so if you guys have any questions, please write them in the chat because it might get a bit complicated. So yeah, just tell me when there are any questions, otherwise I'll continue. Okay, so then let's go over to my desktop. Okay, yeah, everything should still be okay, I think. This is a list of things we'll be looking at today. So first, the introduction. How do you even create a mod for EndCycle? Then I'll show you guys how you can change the images inside EndCycle itself. Then I'll also show you how to change the sound effects, and then we'll move on to using a text editor and doing some advanced techniques on how you can actually accomplish more complicated editing of the game. Yeah, then I'll show you how to change the music after we learn how to do more advanced stuff. How to change the story, text at least, and the attack names and everything else. Then I'll also show you how you can add and edit your own custom attacks, as well as editing the in-game shop and the game shaders. Now this is going to be a topic that's only really going to be important for the most technical of you guys. You might not even know what shaders are. If you can write them, you can write your own shaders for EndCycle as well. And then in regards to sharing, you can share your mods with the community, and I'll also show you guys how you can do that. Okay, well then, let's begin. So, how do you create a mod for EndCycle? Well, it's actually really easy. Okay, so let's see. We have let's say you downloaded the game. Doesn't matter if it's for EndCycle or any other if it's for Windows, not EndCycle. If it's for Windows or any other platform, you basically just right-click it and you extract it as you would usually when you download the game. So if you already did this, great. If not, you can download the game from the link that I'm about to send in the chat. You can download the game from here, and then you can basically then you have the game. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to open the command line, and not that this is important because you really can't do it without the command line. Oops. Then you'll write cd, which is change directory, and type in the path, or copy the path to your game folder wherever you downloaded it. Yeah, so far so good. In Windows 8.1 and earlier, you can also just right click it and say open command window here. Now, fair warning, right now there's a little bug where the next step will fail if there are any spaces in the path of EndCycle. So make sure there are no spaces in the path. With the next hotfix, I'll fix the bug. Otherwise, this next step will fail. Okay. So what you'll want to do is you'll just type in here endcycle.exe. As you can see here, we're in this folder right now. And then you'll write create_mod. Now, with create_mod, wait, I'm gonna look if I can make this a bit bigger so you guys can read it better. Wow, that changed the screen size, but not how. I like Windows. I don't think I can make this any bigger. Doesn't look nice because the path is so long. Doesn't matter. So yeah, you type endcycle.exe, then create mod, and then whatever you really want to name your mod. So for now, let's call it Showcase. Then you'll see that in the background, a mods folder popped up. Okay, so now you can close this. And inside this mods folder is a folder called Showcase. It's the mod that we just created. Inside of here, you'll see all the different folders that got created. Now these are basically replicas of the folders inside of the game. And the game uses them to pick the data from here instead of from the game itself. So whatever you change in here will be automatically reflected into the game. And yes, now just to see how this actually works, we go into the changelog file and we write here that on the 17th of September we made a mod. Then we save that, and now if we open the game, it's the moment of truth. Wait, I'll actually mute the audio output. Okay. And now if you look at the changelog, you'll see we just made a little mod that changes the changelog when you start the game. Cool. I'm happy it actually works. Okay. So, that was our first mod, and we already got the first thing off our list. How to create a mod for EndCycle. Now, let's take a look at how we can change the images of the game. Okay, so once again, we'll open the command window at where EndCycle is, and we will type in endcycle.exe, and instead of create mod, we'll write Drawables. Now when you do that, instead of EndCycle, a different window will pop up. This is the Drawable editor. Now the Drawable editor can basically be used to change images from within the game. Now, let's say we have... Oh, dang it, I should have prepared this a bit up front. But... maybe I'll still have it somewhere here. Hopefully, if not, then I'll just re-download it. Does not look like I have it anymore. Okay, doesn't matter. So, the images editor. From within here, you'll see that you can change the images however you want to. You'll see a whole list of images, and now these are all of the images that are used within EndCycle itself. So for example, here's animation of the NPC that's at the beginning of the story, staying beside the truck, and all of his different animations that you have. As you can see, down here you see a preview of which parts of the images are taken to create this animation. It would be paired with the walking animation. Here you can see a preview of how the image and animation looks like, and here you can see which parts of the image are taken in order to create this animation. And if you move here on the frame slider, you can also change like which frame you're looking at. So let's just learn by taking a practical example. We'll search for the logo, the title logo of the game. And because we are quite funny, we'll change it into some different thing. Let's be a bit. Wait a second, LD, did you make sure? LD, did you make sure that? Ah, okay. There could be a okay. So I'm reading LD's problem right now that he had. Maybe, or rather, I'm pretty sure that that is a Linux related bug, since that shouldn't happen on Windows. I'll check it out after the stream, so I'm sorry, I guess you'll just have to watch instead. And yes, you can mod the game. That's what I'm showcasing right now, Debonair. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, correct me. So let's be a ripoff and just copy Mega Man Battle Network's logo. Just so give me a second so I can pull it from the internet. it's gonna be a bit big. Okay. Okay, this should work. 1 second. There we go. So, yeah, LD, as I said, it's probably a Linux related bug. We'll debug it after the stream ends, because right now I have to focus on this. Okay, so I have downloaded an image and for the new logo. Dang it. So we go into the mods folder and then showcase, and then we put an image here, whichever we want, and for example we'll call it new logo. You can call this image any way you want. Just so you see, this is the new logo. This is what we want to replace the old one with. Okay, so we go back to our logo and we press the change frame button. Now a new menu will pop up, and here, if we scroll, if we refresh the list of textures, it seems they aren't. It seems that doesn't quite work, but oh yes, I made a little mistake. I'm sorry. Don't put the logo image inside the root folder of your mod, so showcase. Put it into the images folder, otherwise it's not going to be recognized. Now it's inside the images folder, and you can press refresh, and there it is. See? And now we can change the logo image to this. If we wanted to go back and undo what we just changed, we can press the reset button. But we don't want to do that, so basically just press on the new logo that we want, and we press select full, which is gonna basically change, select the entire image as important, or rather as wait, I gotta think of how to explain this. Well, basically what we're doing right now is if you press select full, it takes the whole image. We could also just take part of it by holding shift click and holding shift and just pressing somewhere else and crop it down to only a part of the image. Now if you press apply, it's only gonna be this small part of the image. Now if we also shift click and only select the 5, for example, it's only gonna take the part we just selected as like the image itself. Hope you guys understand it up until now. Okay, so let's just select the part that is important for our logo. Okay, and press apply. Also, you can, as you see here on the bottom right, you have options to flip it, in which case it's going to be flipped in game. Doesn't matter. For now, we just take the normal logo and we press save, and you're going to see a little pop-up here. Now, if you go back and you go and open the game now, we should see quite a cool feature. After the logo blends in, we'll see that the logo is a bit too big, but basically it's there. I'm still gonna do a few changes for the resizing of images so that you can actually define a scale, and that way they'll also be the correct size within the game itself. Yes, now, as I said, this is still gonna be refined a little, so that it's not gonna be that big. But we just made a little mod that changes the image. Now, if we wanted to, you can use this feature to actually change entire sprites. Let's just scroll down for a moment. Not this, not this, not this. Well, that is old. BO, yes. Now, under the BO, if you type BO underscore, that means bell object. And in here you'll find all the animations in regards to the bell sprites. For example, here you'll find the sprite of Finn doing his thing. Or if you go and look at the old cannon, that's the old sprite for our cannon, it's still in the game. You can also change the animation for the cannon and all of the different animations. Now, just as a warning though, with all of these, do not delete the image. You can press this X to delete an image. I would rather refrain from doing that because it could break stuff and then the game wouldn't boot anymore without an error message. I already had that bug once, so just don't delete stuff, basically. Okay, so let's go on the internet and do some more plagiarism. And download some cool Mega Man sprites to use. Actually, I'm gonna let the chat decide what kind of image should we use, or what kind of character or sprite from any game that you know should we use for the new Fin animations. Also, please keep it pixel art because otherwise it might go a bit out of frame. Okay, I see the stream is really delayed. At least the whole chat. Everyone's just getting excited. Yeah, we're plagiarizing everything. Okay. The first recommendation was Sonic, so I'm gonna take the sprites from Sonic Battle, because I know that Sonic Battle is a very cool and popular game. Also, I think I have to put up some kind of copyright notice, probably once the video form of all of this goes live. Or we'll actually use the sprites from Sonic Advance instead. Oh, Jesus, there are a lot of Sonic Advance sprites. Okie doke. So, I just downloaded all of the... Huh? Didn't I just download it? Okay, so now that I downloaded the image, we can just paste it in here. You can really put it into any folder, the new images. You don't even have to replace the old ones. Actually, don't replace the old ones in case you want to revert it. So yeah, here are all of the sprites from Sonic Adventure. Look at him, good boy. Now if we open up our Drawable editor again, and let's replace the idle animation, it's pretty simple. So you first revert to the very first frame, or any frame really, and you just delete, and you press the delete frame button until there are no more frames left in the animation. You can also not do that, but then you'll have problems animating. So in any case, you change the frame like we did before with the logo. You select this new image. Now we zoom in. We want to find his idle animation, which is probably this here. Okay, now we mark the area that we want. I hope this is gonna be okay. Probably won't though. Now, and then we want to flip it because it is facing to the left, but we want all sprites to face to the right during battle, because they will be flipped to the left when they're on the opposite side. So by default, all battle sprites have to look to the right. Now we press apply, and look, we have a little Sonic. If we add a frame after this, it won't work because I just realized that I made a math error. Oh, whoa, it actually will work. Cool. Yeah, and you just keep adding frames until you're satisfied with the result. And now we have a little animation. We can also delete the frames again, because I think I misplaced the coordinates a little. I think I have to, if it went to the left, you have to increase it by 1, I think. We'll see. Then you add a frame. Yes. Cool. Now we have a cool animation. So basically, if we play it, this is how our new idle animation looks like. Now, just so that I can keep the stream short enough, wait, let me just check that those were all the frames. Yeah, it seems so. Now, just to keep this the stream not too long, I'll just only mod the idle animation. Now we press save, and we open up the game again. There we go. Everything boots normally. And we have our beautifully modded game. Now if we look into the online multiplayer, aha! There we go. Look at him go. Okay, bye bye Zanny Bags. And as you can see, everything about the sprite will be perfect inside the game. You'll be able to resize it later on in the game. Wait, I think you might be. Okay, no, it's okay. Yeah, so you can run around, but whenever you do a different animation, then it will change back to Finn, obviously, because we only modded Sonic to be like this. I'll just mute the game on my end. Okay. And as you can see, also his shadow gets automatically changed to the correct shadow, I guess. Hey, that's funny, because, you know, Sonic's shadow. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, in any case. And that is how you basically mod a sprite with any custom sprite size you want. No more changing it and fitting into the frame. So I hope you guys like this new feature that I implemented. This editor will also get some slight upgrades here and there. If you have any feature requests for it, just let me know in the Discord group. I'll send the invite link probably. At least after the stream, or I'll just post I think I'll post the Discord link now. Yeah, so if you have any requests for what you would like to see in this editor, just shoot me a message and I'll see if it's cool or if it can be made well. Yeah, so now that we got that out of the way, let's just save just in case, but I know that we already applied all the changes. Let's go back to our list. So we just changed 2 images by using the Drawable editor. I hope it's simple enough and that you all understood how it works. So sounds, changing the sound effects. Now if you want to change the sound effects, it's very easy. Let's say in the showcase folder, in the showcase mod folder, you'll have a folder called sounds. Now I wonder how that works. Inside here you have different sounds. Here if you go inside, you'll see, aha, we have more subfolders, and you just browse to the subfolder of the sound you want to change. Now we have, for example, the sound when during battle a panel gets stolen. Now I actually should have planned this a bit better because I have no sound to replace it with. So instead of the panel sound when it gets stolen, we want to have let's see, we want to have the sound when, what's a good sound? When you save the game, for example. Now this is just an example. You can take any WAV file, and now this is really easy. You just go under the panels folder, you copy this in, you delete the file that you want to replace, in our case the steel, and you just rename your new sound effect to what you want it to be. Easy as pie. And just, oh yeah, you can't really see it. Also, I don't think that a help would really. I could add a help argument probably. I'm not sure, since it's not really a well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so no, that's not in the settings. I'm getting distracted. If we want to check out the new sound, we could now see it inside. I mean, listen to it inside the game. But since you guys can't really hear my output, I don't think that you'll be able to hear it. In any case, that's how you replace sounds. Not very exciting. Also, yes, WAV files are for the sound effects. Music is OGG, and we'll see later. Okay, so we just replaced the sound. Now, advanced editing, using a text editor for JSON files. Internally, the game loads a lot of JSON files into itself. A JSON file is just a way to represent game data, for all of you that never heard of it. For this next step, all you will need is a text editor, and yeah, that's pretty much really it. So what you want to do is you want to open any of the JSON files inside the data folder of your mod folder, and when you can then right click it and say open with, and then select your favorite text editor. I use Notepad++, very recommendable, it's a very good editor. And if we, for example, go into the folder called well, let's see, what's the next thing on the list? Music, yes. If we go in the music folder, no, we don't even have a music folder. There's just a music.json file. Now, if you right click that and open it with a text editor, then you'll see some kind of formatted text. Now, basically this is how JSON files are structured. If you want to read into it, it's not too complicated. It's always just basically an attribute or a name for an attribute followed by a definition for it. So basically here you have just the name of a song, then where it is located, when it loops, then how fast it is. Certain things in EndCycle react to the music, like the snowy background that you see during battles. That one moves with the beat, with the BPM of the current playing song. Fun little fact. And an attribute called stop. Just add that to all songs that are in the battle, because then they will stop when they're played the next time. Or I think the stop attribute is already doesn't matter. So if you want to change any of the songs, you basically just open the music.json file. You go in here. You first of all, you download the song or place it inside the music folder anywhere you would like. Like, for example, let's say this here is a downloaded song.ogg. You can name it any way you want. It doesn't have to have this lowercase. It can have uppercases, anything. Now, basically, you just it's under music, downloaded song.ogg. So in here, you don't have to add the music slash. You just, for example, if we want to have this song now play as the fanfare, which is what plays when you win a fight, you would just write in here downloaded song.ogg. Now then for the music file, it has to be in OGG, because if it's any other format, it won't be able to loop. At least the loop position won't really work, I think. You can test it if you want to, but I for one know that OGG works best. Then you just enter here the BPM of the song. Let's say it's 128, and you can then enter the loop in seconds. So for example, if the loop position is at 31.567 seconds, then we just enter here the loop, and we're done. We added a custom song into EndCycle. Now if we would add a folder called custom, you could put the downloaded song into the custom folder, and then you just change it here and write custom slash downloaded song.ogg or .ogg, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not gonna judge you. Yes, so that was it as to changing JSON files and changing the songs. Now just to answer your questions, there is a dialog.png file that isn't used. There are a lot of PNG files in the game that just aren't used because they're old or we just don't use them anymore. Feel free to snoop around, see what you can find. There's lots of relics in the game. Yes, and GUI for sound. Maybe one day. I plan to add a few more GUIs for different things, but for now you'll have to deal with changing JSON files to modify it. That's also how I have to do it right now, so yes. Auto conversion from WAV or MP3 and a method of getting it to look properly without getting all messy with Audacity. Nope, can't do that, I'm sorry. You'll have to convert it, you'll have to convert music to OGG via Audacity. Just drag the song into it and export it as OGG, and you're done, really. All of these extra tidbits are pretty much out of scope for the game because, well, the mod support is there as good as I can make it, but it's not the primary focus of the game. So I'm not gonna spend a whole bunch of time developing all the mod tools. They're more there so that you guys can mod it and I can make the game. Yes. Okay, so localization, changing story, attack names, and others. Now there's a second type of data files that you'll find in here, and those are in the localization folder, and they're called .properties. You can also just open these with a normal text editor, and let's take a look inside the menu messages .properties, for example. In here you'll find a lot of different messages, I guess. They'll always have some kind of name separated by dots and then an equal sign, and basically what comes after the equal sign is the text that you read on screen. So if we wanted to change the text that that is displayed when you start when a bell starts, we would change it from bell start right here to engage in combat, for example. Let's go back to the game and start it just to look that it works. Okay. Still our beautiful mod. Okay. And now if we look. Oh, wow. For some reason it still says bell start. I wonder why. Probably an error on my side. I'll fix that. But let's see, is there a second bell start? Maybe. No, that's really strange. Well then, basically you can change all the texts in here. Now if you go back into the data and localization folder, you'll see that there are a lot of property files, and some of them have an _DE. That stands for German, because we currently have a German translation on our way. And basically you just have like all the translations for the different languages in here. But you can just delete all the German files if you don't need them, or if you don't want to translate your stuff to German. We don't have an option to switch languages yet anyway. But if you want to take, for example, change the names of the attacks, you could, for example, go in here, and there's basically all of the attacks in here and their names. So the name for the area grab, which is called attack.areagrab.name, you can just change this to Stealer, whatever. I guess Stealer. Or if you wanted to change the name of the cannon, you could just change cannon to let's say LD Destroyer, because we like you. Yeah, now open up the game again, and hopefully it's gonna work, but I'm pretty sure it will. I may have made a mistake in regards to how the localization files are loaded into the game. No, okay, so I made a mistake, and the localization files aren't loaded the same way that other mods are yet. I'll fix that in a hotfix. I'll just write it down real quick. That it doesn't work. Give me 1 second. Localization file loading. Mods. Okay, so apparently the mod you can't mod the names of the attacks and all that yet. I'll fix that in a hotfix. Probably it's gonna release tomorrow or after tomorrow, so look forward to that. Okay, I'm pretty sure then that was it in regards to the story, attack names, and others. Yeah, And if you want to change the story text, you'll also find them inside of the localization folder, but you'll find it under objects and dialogue. And here you have all the lines that are spoken inside the game. For example, the dialogue that happens when you interact with Adam's drawing in the item menu is just placed in here. Also \n, if you see a sign like this, it represents a line break, so it's just gonna look in the game like this. So that's all that \n is, because you can't really make line breaks in here, it's gonna destroy the file. Yeah, so you can also change all the options that you find in here. So for example, if you wanted to change the default no option to something else like nay sir, or no way, what like LD did once, you could just basically change it here. Yeah. Cool. So then we got the localization done for. Now VOCs, you can add in your custom attacks with for the game in a few easy steps. Let's go. Let's start. So under the data folder, we have okay, bye bye LD. So in the items folder under data, we have a JSON file called VOCs. Now, bear with me, it looks a bit complicated, but we'll go through it step by step. So every VOC is basically, you can see how VOCs are separated by these brackets here. So as you can see, one of these things is they're all separated by 2 brackets always, and yeah, just every time a new VOC is entered into the catalog, it's just separated by the same amount of space, really. Okay. Now, if we wanted to, for example, copy the canon VOC, we would just search for canon. Does not exist. Oh yeah, because I have the match case turned on. Okay, so this is already the first attack. Let's say we wanted to add a new type of canon to the game. Now you just basically select all of this and you copy it. Make sure that there's that you copy it nicely, so that you have like a comma here and a comma after this, and that there are no errors inside of what you wrote. Now ignore this first file, this first line in every attack. It's just necessary for the game that it knows what we are currently displaying. The ID is important. Make the ID something that you'll remember and that isn't taken by anywhere else yet. So for example, we want the ID to be 999. That's it. Let's just make it 999. And if we search in the entire text file, then we will not find another ID 999. That's important. Okay, now you can delete this upgrade line. You don't really need it. You'll see here there is also a property called attack shell. Inside the attack shell, you basically just have information on how the attack behaves. Under the description message, you basically have a key, as you can see here. But you don't really need that yet. I'll show you guys how you can change the description and the name in another video, because it might get too complicated. Now the image index is also kind of important, because we probably want to give our attack its own image, and that is very easy. You just open an image editor, or you already have an image for the attack, but yeah, so you open an image editor and we go back into our mod folder and we navigate to images /generals, no wait, /programs /voc, and here you'll have the VOCs PNG file. Now just drag that into the game. And this is basically the file with all VOCs inside. Now, if we wanted to change the image of an attack, then this is where we would do it. Let's say, for example, we want the attack to use the first image in here. So this one. This is gonna be the image for our custom attack now. We would just write image index 0. If we wanted to use the next image, we would just have to like go 1, or rather 0, 1, then this is image index 1. And so on and so forth, and this would be 1, 2, 3, then 4, 5, no, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So every time you go a row down, it increases by 10. So this would be image 1, 0, so 1, 0, so 10, basically. Yes, then we could just select this and make it our image. If we want to have to take this image, we would just enter here, image index 10. I hope everything's clear so far. Okay, so then let's say we want to take this image, so then we make it to image index 0. Also watch out, because depending on the level and the type of attack, you will have a you will have different images that are used to construct the image for the attack. Because as you can see within the game, they aren't just they're basically this red border, then helped by these gray lines here, and an image in the middle. Those are constructed out of these 5 thingies here that define which border is around the level, depending around the VOC, depending on its level. So this is level 1, this is level 2, etc, etc, and this is for all the 5 types of attacks. But if you only use those if you want to construct your image out of multiple things. Since we already have a whole image here, we only need to use this one. Yeah, so then now that we set the image for our attack, we can change a few more things about it. For example, in the properties, you will see that we have a portal property that just defines when and how long a portal opens up if when the shot is spawned. We'll have an ID, and the ID is very important because it defines what attack gets used. I have here I have on my PC at least, I have a list of what IDs, which attacks are which IDs. So yeah. I'll post this one also somewhere, probably in the standalone video that we'll have from this stream. Yeah, so basically we want it to be a shoot attack, so just something you shoot with the ID 0. Now the name and the name message is just basically how what name the attack is called, or what name the attack uses. Yeah. And then we have here the amount of uses and the power. The amount of uses does not matter. The power matters. So like if we wanted to make the cannon a bit stronger, we could make it deal 500 damage, but instead have no crush power. And we could also, instead of making it level 1, we could make it level 0, level 2, level 3, level whatever you want it to be. It can also be level 10. Or higher, but then you won't be able to use it in the game. So we're referring to only the first five levels. So let's make it level 0 because we want to break the game. But in exchange it doesn't flinch the enemy. So we just remove the whole ailments. We can either remove all of the ailments entirely, or we just remove the flinching ailment from the list. The flinching ailment is basically what makes the enemy flinch. Yeah. And now the target type does not matter for the cannon because it just shoots in a straight line. But there are a few different target types that you'll find scattered throughout this file, like same column enemy, which just means it targets an enemy in the same column. This is more important for a different thing, for when you build an AI with the attacks and all that. But it doesn't matter for now. So now we have our custom cannon that deals 500 damage, no crush, and this is the ID 999. In order to show it to you guys inside the game, we'll add it to a shop. So the shops are also just basic JSON files. Again, let's go into the folder, data and items, and then here you'll find the shops file, quite smaller in comparison. And now let's go to the Dream Garden shop. You can see here, this is the shop for the Dream Garden, also separated by these kinds of brackets. And here you just add another entry where instead of type item, you just type you just type that it's the type VOC, set it at the price 100 for example, and make the product ID just 999. It's the same ID that we had in here. Okay, so let's start the game again and look into the shop. Can you use your own VOC online? No, you cannot use your VOCs online. That's because in online everyone has to have the same VOCs. Obviously, otherwise it would be unfair. Yeah, so let's go into a save where we already completed the Dream Garden. Now we just go all the way down to the shop. Okay, and here's the shop. Now if we talk to this person, we'll see he has a VOC for sale. A level 0 VOC called Cannon. This is the VOC we just made. As you saw, that's the same image that we used, this one. And it has the level 0, which is also indicated within this thing that we made. See, it's level 0. Let's buy 5 of them. Now, if we look inside of our inventory, you'll see, we have a cannon, a level 0 cannon. Let's add it. And now if we go and we just, let's search for noise. It's gonna pop up. One's gonna pop up sooner or later. This is also a very overpowered VOC that we just made. But speaking from experience, there we go. Okay, we want to fight. We're still Sonic. I forgot about that. And now if we use this cannon, okay, deals 531 damage due to difference in our stats. But oh wow, it just got crushed. That's amazing. But if we can spam it because it's level 0, and it's very strong, but it doesn't crush at all. A sword cannon, that could be possible technically, but you'd have to mod a lot for that. I think I'll have a whole other video explaining how attacks are modded, and I'll probably also make a GUI for the attacks because it's kind of complicated right now. Yes, so that is how you add your own attack to EndCycle and add it to the shop. You can also add any attack to the shop really, if you want to. You just have to search for any key term inside here, or inside the VOCs file, and then just add it to the shop in the JSON file. Yes, now be wary, because if you change an attack instead of adding new ones and using those, then you might have issues with the online multiplayer. Usually all of the data for the attacks come from the server, but if you can use custom images for the attacks and not corrupt the multiplayer. And the only way that the multiplayer can really be corrupted by changing attacks is by changing the level of the attack, because then it's not gonna corrupt the server, it's just gonna make you not able to play well, because the server how's it called? Your strike gauge is gonna change differently than it is on the server, so you on your side will have problems. The other person will not have any problems. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it in regards to the VOCs. Yeah, and also in regards to the shop. Now shaders, customizing your own game shaders. I'm gonna keep this topic short because most of you probably don't know how to write shaders, but if you do, amazing. Because shaders are really hard to write. Now here we have our fragment and vertex shaders. They're also all in the data folders, and you just edit those. They're also simple plain text files. This is OpenGL. Yeah, so let's say we want to replace the default shader with a grayscale shader, which basically makes the entire game black and white. We just delete these. We change the grayscale shader to be our default shader. And now if we start the game, everything's gonna be black-white. Rather dark black-white. Probably an issue with the shader. Yeah, it's an issue with the shader. I'm not sure why, but oh, I know. let's just go in here and edit the fragment shader real quick. And we just multiply all of these values times 2, times 2.0, because otherwise we might have a problem. And also multiply this by times 2, and now it should work a bit better, if I'm correct. No, still not good. I'm not sure how this is gonna react now to everything. So let's just keep it at that. You can change your own shader. As you can see, I'm not quite sure why it doesn't work, and I'd have to check it, but you can also edit your own shaders. Another important step, sharing your mods with the community. Now say we have written now say we have created this mod and we want to send everyone else our changes. Let's just select the mods folder and the mod.txt. You right click it, you make them into an archive, into a zip archive, and you just say showcase mod.zip, however you want to call it. Packs up everything for you, and there we go. You have a zip that you can just send to someone else. They can unzip it on the same place, and you have your mods, and they'll have your mod the way that you have it. So that was pretty much it in regards to modding the game. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and it was, I hope you guys will make some awesome stuff. Can't wait to see what you'll make. But hold on! It's not over yet, because I have a special additional feature for all of you guys. Because down here we have one last super secret extra special segment. Stacking mods, multiple mods at the same time. Okay, revolutionary. Now, let's say you're making a mod, but you only want to change 1 or 2 small things and have it work with other mods as well. Well, you can do that. It's not hard. Let's say we have this showcase folder. Now in here, we delete everything that we did not change. So for example, the game.properties, we didn't change those. We want to revert our changes to the sound, so we just delete the sound. Let's also delete the music, because we didn't really change anything about the music. Keep the images packed folder if you changed any images. If you didn't change an image, you can throw that one away. Otherwise, if you change images, keep this folder, otherwise you're gonna have problems. Under images, we only added 2 new images, which are these, which is the Sonic sprites and the logo. So everything else is still like it was before. So we don't have any changes in here, so we can just delete all of these folders because they'll be taken from the game instead. And in the data, the only thing that we really changed were the attacks. So we didn't change anything about the fonts. We didn't change anything about the battle. We changed things in regards to images, so we keep this folder. We didn't change anything, we changed the items. We changed the localization, so we keep that. We didn't change anything of the overworld, delete that. Scripts, nothing changed here. Shaders, well, we did change those, but let's revert to our old changes. Story, we also didn't customize anything really much. And we also didn't change anything here except the music. The music will... Actually, we did change the music, I just remembered. But we'll, because I deleted it outside, we'll just delete it in here too. And we didn't change the scripts.json file, so away with this and away with this. Now, if we were to add a mod from someone, no wait. So now we have this really bare bones showcase mod that we created. And if we add it to an archive, it's gonna be really, really small now, only half a gigabyte. Megabyte, whew, half a gigabyte would be a lot. Now this is our new mod folder that we want to share with the people. And if we want to add a second mod to it, I prepared one already. We have the new panels mod. Now this, imagine this is just a an archive called new panels. Okay, so let's say someone sent me this mod, the new panels mod. We just put it into the mods folder with the showcase folder. We extract it here. So inside the new panels, you'll have the same layout like in here, except with different files. So we delete the new panels folder, the new panels, not the folder, the zip file. We go into the mod.txt file, and in here we enter a second mod folder called new panels. That's the name of the second mod that we have. Now what the game will do is first, when it's going to look for its assets, it's going to look through the showcase folder and find whatever assets need to be changed from here. Next, it will look into the new panels folder to see what things it should take from here. And now if we open the game, and if I did not destroy anything, the panels in the game when we battle should have a different color. Let's try it out. And if you look at that, we now have purple and green tiles, because that's the kind of mod that I made beforehand, before the stream. And we have two mods running at the same time. The Sonic folder, our nice logo change, and the cool little new panels mod that we created, that I created beforehand. Okay, and now I think that was pretty much it in regards to modding the game. We got that done as well. Cool. And so with that, the modding tutorial stream is pretty much concluded. Thank you guys for being with me while I was showcasing this. It was really fun to implement stuff, and I'll also add a few more GUIs to the game, of course. But don't expect modding to be our priority right now. It's the only reason we really implemented this whole ecosystem that I just showed you is because we needed to develop the game itself. So most of the changes or additions to the whole modding tools will either arrive when the game is further in development, or when I and the development team need them to work on the game. Nonetheless, I hope you guys will make cool stuff. I'm really excited to see whatever you'll come up with or whatever you want to implement into the game. And hooray for copyright infringement. I do not condone that at all. And you should only use assets that also belong to you. Yes, now thank you for watching. If there are any questions, you can join in the Discord group and just basically write me a message if you don't know how something works or what kind of changes you can make to the game, or just have any kind of development questions, modding questions. Feel free to shoot them at me. I'm gonna try my best to answer all of them in a way that you'll understand most, and I hope I didn't confuse you guys too much. Yeah, there will also be videos from like standalone videos separately from this stream, where I'll showcase separate features like just now, but in smaller segments, cut down to only bits and pieces, so you can learn more slowly than so fast like we just did now. It's pretty fast. Yeah, so thank you guys again for watching. I hope to see you in the Discord group or wherever you decide to post your mods. Yeah, so until then, see you guys.